The Confessions of Saint Augustine, Book 9, Chapter 11. What answer I made her unto these things I remember not. For scarce 5 days after, or not much more, she fell sick of a fever. And in that sickness one day she fell into a swoon, and was for a while withdrawn from these visible things. We hastened round her, but she was soon brought back to her senses, and looking on me and my brother standing by her, said to us inquiringly, Where was I? And then looking fixedly on us with grief amazed, Here, says she, shall you bury your mother? I held my peace and refrained weeping, but my brother spoke something, wishing for her, as the happier lot, that she might die, not in a strange place, but in her own land. Whereat she, with anxious look, checking him with her eyes, for that he still savoured such things, and then looking upon me, Behold, says she, what he says. And soon after to us both, Lay, she said, this body anywhere. Let not the care for that any way disquiet you. This only I request, that you would remember me at the Lord's altar, wherever you may be. And having delivered this sentiment in what words she could, she held her peace, being exercised by her growing sickness. But I, considering your gifts, you unseen God, which you instill into the hearts of your faithful ones, whence wondrous fruits do spring, did rejoice and give thanks to you, recalling what I before knew, how careful and anxious she had ever been as to her place of burial, which she had provided and prepared for herself by the body of her husband. For because they had lived in great harmony together, she also wished, so little can the human mind embrace things divine, to have this addition to that happiness, and to have it remembered among men, that after her pilgrimage beyond the seas, what was earthly to this united pair had been permitted to be united beneath the same earth. But when this emptiness had, through the fullness of your goodness, begun to cease in her heart, I knew not, and rejoiced, admiring what she had so disclosed to me. Thou indeed, in that our discourse also, in the window, when she said, What do I hear any longer? There appeared no desire of dying in her own country. I heard afterwards also, that when we were now at Ostia, she, with a mother's confidence, when I was absent, one day discoursed with certain of my friends about the contempt of this life and the blessing of death. And when they were amazed at such courage which you had given to a woman, and asked whether she were not afraid to leave her body so far from her own city, she replied, Nothing is far to God, nor was it to be feared, lest at the end of the world he should not recognize whence he were to raise me up. On the 9th day then of her sickness, and the 56th year of her age, and the 33rd of mind, was that religious and holy soul freed from the body. Chapter 12. I closed her eyes, and there flowed with almighty sorrow into my heart, which was overflowing into tears. Mine eyes at the same time, by the violent command of my mind, drank up their fountain wholly dry, and woe was me in such a strife. But when she breathed her last, the boy Adeodatus burst out into a loud lament. Then, checked by us all, held his peace. In like manner, also a childish feeling in me, which was, through my heart's youthful voice, finding its vent in weeping, was checked and silenced. For we thought it not fitting to solemnize that funeral with tearful lament and groanings. For thereby do they for the most part express grief for the departed, as though unhappy, or altogether dead, whereas she was neither unhappy in her death, nor altogether dead. Of this we were assured on good grounds, the testimony of her good conversation and her faith unfeigned.